What is the craziest childhood memory you have? Because I just think back at my childhood and I'm like, oh dear God, be nicer to me when I'm a parent, please. My brother and I used to sleep over my cousin's house literally the entire summer. Like, we were there 2 weeks at a time, and then they would come over to my house for 2 weeks and we'd go on and off like that. I have 2 cousins, and then me and my brother is 2, so there's 4 kids in this story. And we were all just happy to spend time together because, again, we're all small families, and both of our dads worked overseas. So my mom and my aunt used to hang out all the time. Having 4 kids under the age of 12 and taking care of them as a single mom, that's so rough. It was towards the end of summer break, and I think this was my aunt's last freaking straw. Like, we really pushed her. Because in my day, we didn't have telephones like that. We would have to listen to the radio, and none of us would get in the car until my mom or my aunt would put the song blasting, and it has to be a station that we liked, like Z100 or something. It was the end of the day, and we had just finished running errands, and we're all trying to get in the car, but we're like fighting over who gets to sit where. So all the kids are screaming. My aunt has the biggest migraine. We all get in the car one by one. My cousin starts screaming. She's just like, oh my gosh, I think my tooth fell out. I think my tooth fell out. And she's just like gushing out blood. I'm screaming and getting nauseous, and I'm going, bleh! Like very loudly because she's just spitting out the blood. My brother's usually the quiet one, but today he decided that he wanted to whine and say that he was tired and wanted to go home. And then my other cousin, she's like suspiciously quiet. So my aunt just screams, guys, put your seatbelts on, we have to go. So we put our seatbelt on, but my cousin's literally still spitting up blood. And as I'm like, wait, where's my other cousin? I'm like, the door of the van is still open. I see her with 1 foot in the car, 1 foot out of the car. But the thing is, my aunt, because she had such a bad headache, she didn't think to look back and make sure all the kids were in the car, especially with all of us screaming. And she just, puts the pedal to the metal. The light turns green, so she's trying to make the light. She starts stepping on the gas, but my cousin's not in the car yet. So she's screaming, wait, I'm not in the car, wait. This is so messed up, I'm so sorry. And she's yelling, but my aunt's not hearing it. This poor girl is literally hopping to try to get in the car. I'm too far back in the van to grab her. My brother is not even paying attention to her. The other girl is spitting up blood. So this girl's left to fight for herself. Eventually, a 10-year-old can only hop so long in a moving car. So she falls out of the car and she's literally in an intersection. We're all screaming for my aunt to turn around because she, my cousin's in the middle of the road, and she still doesn't hear until everyone starts honking. And she's like, why is everyone honking? She looks and she sees her child in the middle of the road and she's like, oh my gosh. Let's just say that ride home was very quiet after that. Y'all, I gotta ask this, but what is your low-key toxic trait? And it has to be low-key. Safe. When I say low-key, I mean low-key. Don't tell me something extremely toxic that's very obviously toxic, or something that's not toxic at all. Like, sometimes I'm mean to my friends. Like, everyone's mean to their friends. Come on, we need more. Give me more. Break the ice, I'll go first. So for people who don't know, I used to live in Dubai. My dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot. So my mom had this huge sunglass phase. Like, my mom goes to different phases throughout her life, and when we were in Dubai, it was designer sunglasses. So the way Dubai is also laid out is if you want to go to the grocery store, you actually have to go to the mall, and usually downstairs of the mall is the grocery store. So whenever we would go shopping, my mom was like, wait, I'm gonna go peek at the sunglass store. You can guess what neighborhood I live in. We went to this small mall in Sharjah, and when I tell you it was like a ghost town in there, there was like barely any people in there, and the only people who were there were the workers. My mom's getting all excited because she's like, oh, I get to see what new sunglasses they might have at this mall because I've never seen it before. We pull up to the store, and my mom's looking at the sunglass, and she's like, oh, that's a nice sunglass, and she bends down to take a closer look. But the thing is, the glass was so clean because, again, no one touches the glass because no one is there. My mom, when she went down, she straight up full force like slammed her head into the glass. And when I tell you the echo that went through this 4-story mall from just my mom banging her head on the window was so astronomically loud. A ton of workers ran out of the store and they're like, oh my gosh, ma'am, are you okay? My mom, look how messed up I am. I'm laughing just remembering. My mom is so embarrassed and she turns super bright red. So my mom's bright red and she was like, honestly, no, but it's okay. The great daughter that I am, I was laughing. I was laughing so hard that I fell to the floor laughing. And my mom's looking at me like this, and she's like, are you serious right now? Like, I'm concussed, and you're on the floor laughing, and I can't even breathe. I'm like, let's just say my mom didn't look at the sunglasses after that. But we go to the supermarket, because we still gotta do our grocery haul, and my mom is holding a Coke can, like, to her forehead, because her forehead is literally swelling up, like a giant bump on her head. And every time I look at her, and she's holding the can like this to her head, I start laughing again. I could not walk near her while she was grocery shopping, and the whole time my mom's like, stupid to me, because I'm laughing at her. So if you couldn't piece together what my toxic trait is, I don't know why. It's really embarrassing for me too. I laugh when people get hurt. And it's not that I genuinely find it funny. Like, sometimes I'm genuinely concerned. But the second that person gets hurt, my body's natural reaction is to laugh. And I know that's, like, definitely so embarrassing if you're, like, you don't want to get hurt in public. So I try to cover my face like this, like, to try to look shocked. But in reality, underneath, I'm like, it's so bad. It's, Someone was straight up racist to my mom meaning our mom, yesterday. If you're confused by our mom, it's because back in 2020/2021, I used to make prank videos with my mom known as Pranking My Immigrant Mom, and a lot of y'all love her, and I love her, obviously.
See anything?
Wait, mom, wait, can we talk? I got hit with the chancla so much making that series. So my family lives in Arizona and I live in New York City. So I usually talk to my mom like every other day. So the way that she told me the story is she went to Marshall's yesterday and was making a return. The thing about my mom is she does not like making eye contact with people. She also just doesn't like looking at people. So she's usually very oblivious to her surroundings. I would know because I'm just like her. So my dad's wandering around Marshall's, right? He comes back and he starts laughing. And my mom's like, what's wrong with you? Why are you laughing? And he points at the lady who's doing the return. And he's like, why is she sniffing the clothes you just returned? My mom's like, what are you talking about? And she looks up and homegirl is smelling her shirt, like face in shirt, going. My mom speaks up because she's mad confused and she's like, is there a problem? And the lady's like, yeah, did you cook with spices? Now my mom is even more perplexed and she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, you know, like, did you make curry? Because this smells like curry. And my mom is wholeheartedly looking at her like, girl, we don't even eat curry. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fiend for curry, but that's the wrong stereotype, home slice. I get my feistiness from my dad though, so my dad was actually about to say something like snarky, and then my mom stopped and was like, no, don't, like, I still want to get my money back. And I was like, wow, mom. Like a true immigrant that you are. My mom was like, can I smell the shirt myself? And then my mom smells it and she's like, it deadass just smelled like fabric. My mom was like, it was barely even in our house for it to have a stench to it. My mom told her like, oh, we don't even eat curry. And then the lady like sees that everyone around her is staring at her like, and she's like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. That lady's so lucky I wasn't there because if I heard that and it was in front of me, you do not disrespect my parents like that. Like, the fact the lady only took the return because people were staring at her gets me mad tilted, bro. I obviously was getting low-key heated because I was like, yo, that was mad disrespectful and racist. And my mom's like, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal. Like, stupid people be stupid people and ignorant. And I'm like, yo, this is literally the mentality of why my generation got hit with so much racism. Like, children of immigrants, does anyone else's parents think that way too? Like, when someone's racist to them, they kind of just brush it off and they're like, whatever, they're dumb. The fact that she felt so comfortable saying it to my mom, who, by the way, is very ethnically ambiguous. Like, wait, let me show you. I never showed you guys my mom for privacy reasons, but her face is covered here, so you can kind of see. Like, my mom's hella ethnically ambiguous. She just looks like some sort of Asian or Spanish. Now, imagine who looks more stereotypical. Like, this lady has definitely said it to them before. Was it? But I added too much gochujang. My mouth's on fire. You know what's mad disrespectful that I completely forgot about until I started classes again? And now that I'm older, I just don't let it slide because it's not funny, it's not cute. And let me hear it from the back of the classroom. It's not demure. Correct. I haven't been in college in 2 years. I already graduated and I realized I wanted a complete career change. So I'm back in college to get some prerequisites and here we are. So I walk into class and it's the first day of class and they're like, okay, everyone, I want you to say your name and one fun fact. And immediately I'm like, ugh, I hate the fun facts. Wait, let's be so for real. No one actually cares about your fun fact. Like, genuinely, I know no one's going to be amazed if I'm like, hey, my name is Selena. Fun fact, I can bend my thumb pretty far back because I'm double jointed. Like, no one's going to remember that. So my professor is like, okay, this class is very group heavy. We follow a lot of discussions. So I want you guys to break off in little groups and make little friends and then leave because I don't want to be here any longer either. And I was like, I like you. So it's me and then one other girl and 3 guys. So we all sit together because we're in the same vicinity and we're like, hi, nice to meet you guys. Oh, what year are you? What year are you? And then they're like, what year am I? And I was like, dude, I'm a super senior. It's kind of embarrassing. I don't even know what year I am anymore. One of the girls was like, wait, what is your name again? Because I know the professor called one name, but you responded to another name. And I was like, oh yes, I have a legal name and an English name. I go by my English name, which is Selena. And she was like, oh, but what is your legal name? And I tell her my legal name and she goes, what? And I was like, I say it again, which my legal name is not hard. And she goes, yeah, no, I don't know how to pronounce that. So I'm just going to keep and call you Selena. And I was like, okay, well, I want to be called Selena, but also, what? And she was like, oh, I can't pronounce your name, sorry. And I'm like, you are not sorry. It is not hard to pronounce my name. You didn't even attempt to pronounce my name, but you know what? I don't want my name in your mouth, so it's okay. You don't need to say it. Oh, how I wish I actually said all that, but I didn't. I'm gonna be so honest, I didn't because I'm not trying to have that much beef on the first day, but I didn't let it slide either. When she was just like, oh, I'm just gonna call you Selena because I can't pronounce your legal name, I was just like, girl, my name is not that hard to pronounce. You're actually one of the first people to struggle this hard, but it's okay, I get it. Did it cause other group members to chuckle? Yes. Were those people of color who chuckled? Yes. But, you know, we keep it pushing, we keep it moving. Like, it's not that deep, but I'm not gonna let that slide either. It's like a weird form of mockery being like, oh, your name is just too ethnic. I can't say that. Like, okay.